Okay, let's get to this. A little bit of scrambling there, guys. Our previous schedule game not occurring, but we will continue to bring you coverage. Have no
Correct.
fear. Have no fear.
Have no fear, the Navy is here.
General quarters.
All right,
All
Zap,
right.
talk to me about YOLO here on the North Spawn. What do we got going?
Just getting into the game right now on the North Spawn. This is YOLO proper,
YOLO proper, no
suppose?
W.
right? So we've got Kremlin and Schlieffen, and we've got double Moskva, double Napoli, and for destroyers, Marceau, Ragnar, and a Daring to round it out.
Yes, YOLO Prime, as it were. All right, opposing them from the South Spawn here on Shatter, we have ROCIN bringing Conqueror, Grosse Kurfürst, Hindenburg, Venezia, Moskva, Stalingrad. A nice rounded mix of cruisers there, fronted by Daring Marceau and Shimakaze.
Yeah, I find this really interesting. Conqueror?
You know,
Huh.
Conqueror is a battleship in these formats that tends to see more play in EU than we generally see it here on NA. But I think more interesting to me, Zath, is how they're deploying it, right? Pairing a Conqueror with a Kurfürst can make sense if you tend to bring that Kurfürst up into close combat, set lots of fires, that sort of thing. But why are both battleships going to the same flank, Zath? Look at this.
Mm-hmm.
I am confused.
This is so. I mean, a Conqueror is great for burning down enemy battleships. We all know this.
Or
Kurfürst
supercruisers.
is great. Sure. A Kurfürst is great for essentially getting up in people's faces and trying to use those sexy secondaries. But Kurfürst isn't heading where I would put the Kurfürst to take advantage of those secondaries. I'd put the Kurfürst kind of where the Moskva is. So it's curious to see both of those battleships heading in that direction. We often talk about this in random battles, and especially in ranked. You don't typically want your battleships to go in the same grid square even. Plus, you add the Stalingrad. That's a lot of firepower in one spot.
It is indeed lots of firepower on this side, but they're keeping it well back of the cap for right now. As YOLO is pushing up with Poistus Daring, backed up by Lightside's Kremlin. The Napoli and the one Moskva flanking far out to the right, headed for the one line, and Hanamarusha's Moskva behind all of that for the moment.
Now, I don't know if you are aware of this. ROCIN is short for Team Rocinante.
Is it really, Zath?
Yes, I knew you'd love that. I knew you'd love that.
I love that.
They call themselves the WoW's workhorses.
I love it. It's brilliant. A little bit of early fire here across the B cap. Average Potato trying to sneak in and steal that with his Marceau. Cutter's Moskva
Not
putting his
gonna
radar
happen.
up, denying that cap right away.
Oh yeah, Cutter's like, no. Get out of here. Be gone.
Driving him out of the cap. Solid play there from ROCIN, costing Potato about a quarter of his HP. A little bit cheeky there, but I like ROCIN. I'm not just going to call him Rocinante. I like Rocinante moving the Moskva up aggressively to kind of push him out.
Just like the Rocinante is always in the right place at the right time in the show, there's Cutter doing exactly that.
Not if you're Marco Inaros, she isn't. Anyways, we'll talk more about that later. My wife, we just finished. I've been introducing my wife to The Expanse. We just got through season 1 last night, so it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been fun. Still looking at this Conqueror Kurfür Stalingrad play slowly developing in the bottom left corner, and I still am baffled by what I'm seeing, Zath. I'm not really sure here.
Yeah, it's almost like they're expecting a push at A, so they want to stay south so they can kite away, but they need to... The problem is that Cutter, I mean, look at him taking some hits right now. He's got to kind of like not be allowed to be flanked in order to survive. So if you look at the mini-map, there's kind of if you draw a mental line between the Moskva and the Stalingrad going right through the Kurfürst and Conqueror's area, if they collapse even any farther south, Cutter is basically going to just be let out to die. And you can see Average Potato now just opening up for free on Cutter, trying to get a sticky fire. He's getting a sticky fire going right now. Oh!
Whoa! What happened there?
Marceau got cheeky. Ragnar radar took him up.
Wow. The power of the Ragnar. He must have gotten help from the Napoli as well, I'm guessing. Goodness gracious.
Oh, yeah.
A big early kill
Chaos
for YOLO.
Samurai. That's a huge kill for YOLO, actually, because that gives them a lot of flexibility on this side of the map as well.
Indeed. Up a kill, up a cap in less than 5 minutes. Things looking good for YOLO. Cutter's Moskva out here all alone. All of his support, some 10 to 15 kilometers off to his southwest. He is in a bit of a pickle here because in a moment, I think they're going to shove Lightside's Kremlin right in the middle of the map and just laugh at the Moskva.
Ladabulim's Conqueror just got slapped by, I believe that was Lightside's Kremlin.
Could be. Lightside would have had the opportunity to get a salvo in before he got behind that island, probably.
Yep. And that's the thing I was about to comment on, was that, he had a really good opportunity, the Conqueror, to get up there and be shot at instead of Showstopper's Kerfurst, but he's just kind of letting the Kerfurst take it instead.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of baffled. YOLO seems to be like I don't want to say understanding, but they seem to be definitely taking advantage of what feels like a positional error that Rocinante is making here. Not only are both their battleships like within shouting distance of each other, which never feels good on a map where you want to be able to, quickly apply damage. It allows the opposing team to only have to keep their attention in one area, worried about their those big shells coming in from one part of the map rather than multiples. The Kerfurst is firing HE. Showstopper just vomited an HE salvo at Lightside. Very surprised to see that.
That's interesting. Yeah, we're looking at Cutter over here, just totally trying desperately to not get AP slapped. And Fast and Curious had a shot on him, didn't work. But now the Daring Poista is just sitting in smoke and just APing him down.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's another AP salvo from Hanamarusha.
Yep. Yeah, Cutter's going to go out here. He's been hung out to dry. He just doesn't have any teammates capable of supporting him, and there he goes.
Looks like ROCIN is trying to start a push up the one line. It's way too little, way too late.
It's taken 7 minutes to develop this. That you can't. You've let YOLO now. They own not only the A cap, but they own the middle of the board. Your team is essentially in two halves. These 4 ships in the extreme southeastern corner, and then things are kind of more scattered on the eastern flank. I said southeastern, I meant southwestern, but whatever. The bottom right here, they're still capable of supporting each other, but I mean, they're going to give up all the caps, and they're down 2 ships.
Right. Absolutely right. Now, I want to go back to your comment earlier about the Kerfurst firing HE. Keep in mind, of course, that the German battleships have 1/4 HE penetration.
Yes.
And so does the Conqueror. So it's very possible. You can see he's firing HE again at Hamarusha's Moskva. He might be thinking that the HE will do more damage because of that 1/4 HE penetration rule.
It's possible, and you're not wrong. There are instances where that is absolutely the right play, and I won't deny that. It just feels like the angle that he had on Lightside, it didn't look to me like, Smed Stalingrad getting slapped around by Lightside right there.
Just saw that. Yeah.
It didn't feel to me like that HE was the best choice at the moment, right?
I don't think that he was planning in that instance for Lightside to show his broad. And of course, we've all been there. We've got one ammo type ready to go, and then they don't do what we think they're going to do.
Ladabulim's Conqueror is about to take 2 Napoli torpedoes.
Yeah,
Lightside finishing off the Stalin.
Too.
The Shimakaze on the other side of the map going down. Everything coming up YOLO here in their first game of the day.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. These guys, they were basically seeded an awful lot of the map by ROCIN's early positioning.
Yeah.
And they gladly took it. It's like Family Guy. I'm taking this couch.
When your enemy makes a mistake, Saf, don't let him off the hook, and don't interrupt him, and maximize it. Take advantage of it, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Ladabulim continuing this push up the A line. Showstopper's Kerfurst on the other side of this island, but I'm just not sure what they think they're going to get out of this push. The Venezia, who is that? Toster's Venezia now pushing up into sea, trying to stem the bleeding, but ROCIN has never actually earned positive points in this game There we go. They just
And
got
that's
zeroed
the end.
out. I was just about to say they run a risk of getting zeroed out because they've never killed a ship and they've never owned a cap, and by losing 5 ships, they have lost all of their available points. YOLO wins the game.
That's right. That was quite a battle there. It's a good exercise of why board presence is important early and throughout. So good opportunity to go back for ROCIN. Think about that battle. I'm sure they're going to debrief before they get to their next battle. And they still have at least, 4 more to play today?
They've got several more to go. No more like 6. They've got at least 6 to go. So yeah, you've got that going on.
Gotcha.
I really liked the Moskva play at B early, right? I thought when that first developed, I was like, oh, this is going to be a great game. These guys have got a nice little early counter for this. But it just, I still come back to, I didn't understand the double battleship configuration, right? You know, let's all run to the same side of the map and then run all the way to the one line. Like what? I mean, I'm trying to wrap my brain around this without being too negative or too overly harsh.
Right.
There are things that you go ahead.